And you thought the garden variety lich was bad. GameMasters here, and today we are going to explore the Eldritch Lich found in the new Spelljammer setting for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. This copy comes from the Monstrous Compendium Volume 1, Spelljammer Creatures. The Eldritch Lich, very much like your garden variety lich, craves power and everlasting life, and sometimes in their pursuit of this, to find the state of undeath, a great old one will whisper to that lich and tempt it with an even greater power. If that whisper is answered, the great old one will implant a far realm parasite into the lich's body, transforming it into an Eldritch Lich. As part of this transformation, strange tentacles will sprout from the lich's body, with the parasite's mouth emerging from the lich's torso. Further, this parasite can help prevent total destruction of its host and will revive it in just a few days' time if something is powerful enough to destroy this Eldritch Lich. The great old one that whispers to the lich can be determined from a random d6 table, though if you have one that is partial to your setting, you can pick that one. Cthulhu was always the one that I used in my campaign settings, and the great old ones that do whisper really don't have an impact on the powers or abilities that the Eldritch Lich has. However, a crafty DM could easily homebrew up something specific, additional powers, according to that great old one. Before we jump into Eldritch Lich stat block, I'd love to ask that if you're enjoying this video, to please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel to grow by telling that YouTube algorithm that folks are watching, and I genuinely thank you for that. The Eldritch Lich is a medium undead, is usually neutral evil, and has an armor class of 17 and 165 hit points. It has a strength of 11, a dexterity of 18, constitution of 16, intelligence is 19, wisdom is 14, and a charisma is 12. It has damage resistance to necrotic and poison, and condition immunities to being charmed, exhausted, frightened, paralyzed, and poisoned. It has a challenge rating of 15. As mentioned, it has a far realm parasite in its torso, and when the lich dies, it sort of gets sucked inside of itself and wisps into the far realm, and after a few days, the lich will reappear within 1d4 miles of where it died. It has legendary resistance, meaning it can choose to succeed if it fails a saving throw, and has unusual nature in which it does not require food, air, drink, or sleep. For actions, it has multi-attack, allowing the lich to attack with parasitic tentacles, or it can use spellcasting or psychic whisper. Parasitic Tentacle is considered to be a melee attack and causes 66 plus 4 piercing damage plus 68 plus 4 necrotic damage. Just be aware that if you fail your save 3 times against this attack, you're going to dissolve into a gibbering mouther that will obey the lich, the Eldritch Lich. Psychic Whisper is relatively nasty. It causes 66 plus 4 psychic damage and can stun you until the end of your next turn, and also fills your mind with incomprehensible whispers. Kind of makes me want to merge a little bit of the Mythos Cthulhu game's sanity mechanic into the game that I run with it, just to give a little more of an interesting spin. Spellcasting provides the Eldritch Lich with the following spells: Detect Magic, Mage Hand, Prestidigitation, Dispel Magic, Hunger of Hadar, Lightning Bolt, Arcane Eye, Dimension Door, and Plane Shift. What's interesting is that most other monsters with spellcasting specifically mention that they do not require verbal or material components to cast, although with the term spellcasting having been around for so long, it may just now be assumed. Lastly, the Eldritch Lich has a reaction called Far Realm Step. Immediately after taking damage, the Lich, as well as anything it has, equipment, items, whatever it's wearing or holding, can magically teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space that it can see. The Eldritch Lich is a fun creature for me as a DM to toss into a game, albeit a slightly more advanced game. You won't find me tossing one of these into a session with a party of just level 1 players. Well, except for that one time. But he was just there to taunt. As we grow closer to the release date for Spelljammer, I'll be doing more coverage of what can be found within that setting, and we'll be compiling it all into a massive playlist here, so be sure to check that out. How would you incorporate this guy into your campaign? Have it just be there to taunt the players, or actually have it battle them? Let me know in the comments below, and until next our paths cross, may you not dissolve into a gibbering mouther.